Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Tyler. This is going to probably be a very interesting video to all of the low-key people out there who are watching this video and practice being low-key as a lifestyle. And you know the reason why is because we all know that the power of silence drive a lot of nosy people extremely crazy. And this is where I want to speak to all of the low-key people right quick, that being low-key is their resentment. And you probably might ask me the question, Tyler, how is that? In other words, you are the one who is moving in silence, doing what you have to do, or you keeping something extremely secretive that you don't even want anybody to know anything about. But overall, whatever that your goal, vision, or dream, your next move, you are not saying anything about it. But what the major thing is that there are nosy people out there that find you as a major target. There might be a few people that might find you being extremely low-key attractive to them, but it's just like a little 5%. But the major majority of them are mainly nosy people. And you know the reason why? It's simply because nosy people are trying to figure you out from point A to point B. What are you doing from point C to point D? And where the resentment comes in at is that whenever that they think they have gotten it figured out and everything, or they got the information of what they want, and it seems like they do not have to do no more research or finding out point A from point B, then they find out it's a plot twist and it's a surprise that you have fooled them. It leads them back onto the drawing board. And this is where it leads to their resentment. And they are sitting there saying, oh man, I can't even figure this person out just for nothing. In other words, it's just like you are playing a lot of tricky offense against their defense, and you just keep on tricking their defense all the time. No matter how they look in any other direction, they still cannot figure out how are you moving in silence. They can't figure out how are you just that extremely low key to where they can't even figure it out. But I tell you this, low-key people, that whenever that you trick a nosy person by a long mile and fool them by a long shot, I guarantee you that they're going to be extremely resentful, going back into the drawing board again, trying to figure out what is that particular person's next move. But the thing about it is that you are walking in the hidden powers of silence. And you understand the law of how the power of silence is actually working against them, but is working for you in your favor. And that's the fun thing about it. And then whenever that they think that they done figured out your plan or your offense, just because they done recognized it by their defensive scheme ways or whatever, and you like, oh, I just got another trick up my sleeve. Because you as a person who is walking in silence already done figured out the nosy person's defensive scheme and knowing that they're going to go back to the drawing board again, and you're just walking in the power of silence with no worry and just have your vision, your dream, or whatever goals that you are trying to accomplish next on your mind, and you're doing what needs to be done and not even bothered about the nosy ass nitwits who are out there. And I'm going to tell you that there are some nosy people who just plain out resent you being extremely low key, because they see it as you're the one who is walking in silence. You're the one who is not posting your business out there on social media. You're not telling everybody in and everything of what's going on behind closed doors. And the nosy people are doing the direct opposite. Throwing all of their business out. And I'm going to tell you something, and I want to add this. You can be the the major low-key person, and you can be creating value to any and every person. You can be investing yourself, sacrificing and going out your way for one person and any and everybody. These same nosy ass takers, and just as well as these trifling folks, they didn't think nothing about it whenever, but they just enjoyed the spoilment for a little bit. And then maybe you being an extremely low-key person, you just said one coded message and they didn't even get it at all. They didn't even get it at all. And these are the same goddamn nosy people that didn't pay no attention to it at all. But overall, when that day that you have ghosted on them, these are the same people at the same time ask questions, what in the heck done happened? And they act like they were so-called hurt. But in actuality is, you just confused them a whole lot. But I tell you, at the end, you being low-key is their resentment. Remember that. And I'm going to tell all you low-key people that we're major targets for nosy people. And you just going to have tricky offense against them. Because it ain't none of that damn business what goes on behind closed doors. So, I'm going to go on ahead and cut this video short. All of you have a great and wonderful day and evening.